the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, 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 for you. Won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
All right, there we go. How you guys doing tonight, man? Turn that down just a hair. I think that's about a good setting right there for the music. Let me know if it's not, and I can change all that. So I'm kind of deciding what to do tonight. I think I'm going to, work on the card art for a little bit, and then I will move on to the Boba Fett piece. Actually, I was thinking about sketching on those Batmobiles just for a few minutes. Maybe I'll give myself like 20 minutes on the Batmobiles, and then get to the card art. And then do the Boba Fett, although that's a lot in one night. I don't know if I can do all that. It's one of those things you end up getting involved in, and you start spending more time on it than you want to. You know what? I think I will start with the card art, because I need to get some more of that done. Is Disney looking for artists to do, or do you have to know someone that's working at Disney? As far as the Disney stuff is concerned, I know that they just laid off a bunch of people, man, which is really a shame. I know that they shut down the whole video game side of stuff. And I even knew a guy pretty well there, and I haven't checked with him yet, but I got a bad feeling he probably lost his job too, so I'm not sure how stable Disney is right now. Although I guess if it's the side, like if you're doing animation or sorry man, I'm gonna adjust this camera, or kind of like the movie stuff, it might not be so bad. But as far as getting in there, I mean, it helps to know somebody, but your portfolio has to be pretty good too. You know, it's just one of those things. You got to be good. And as far as like, if you saw in my thing that I did work for Disney, I did some freelance for them. I actually got to work on the Cars property for a little bit, but I believe the project I worked on was even canceled. Like, they got rid of it pretty quick, which was kind of a bummer. And just recently, I think I'm gonna pull up all that artwork that I did for them, and I'm gonna post it on my my portfolio page. So I kind of want to use some of that stuff. It turned out pretty cool. So this is, I don't know if you've been here before, Sign of the Times, but what I'm working on here is a card deck, and it's all a hot rod themed card deck. So it's going to be a 52 card deck, and all the face cards and stuff is redone. So I hope I answered your question about Disney, by the way. So I'm going to put my chat right here too. Is the does the audio and the music sound good to everybody out there? Like a little, there we go. Now you can see it. All right, cool. Thank you. So, Sign of the Times, why were you asking about Disney? Just kind of curious how to get in there, I'm assuming. I do know a couple of guys that... I know there's a guy on my Instagram that follows me that's he works in the Imagineering department. And there's another guy that I knew too that worked there. Actually, my brother-in-law knew him better than me. But, yeah, I didn't really ever pursue Disney too hard. The biggest reason because I live so far away from it here. I live probably about, I think the studio would be like 2 hours away, approximately. So it was great doing freelance. I loved working for them. I got to go down to the Burbank studio a couple of times to work on the Cars stuff, which was a lot of fun. Even got to meet some of the guys from Pixar and everything. Fun experience. You got to work for a little bit, not super long. I wish I could have done more projects with them, but they, like I said, they canceled the project that I was working on. So it's unfortunate. Oh, you'd want to work for the Star Wars department? Heck yeah, man, that would be awesome. I actually wouldn't mind that either. I don't know, and I don't know how much ILM has to do with the Star Wars stuff anymore either. I actually have no clue how they're working all that anymore since Disney owns, all that Star Wars stuff, so... Well, I'd say if you really want to work for the Star Wars stuff, like I said, just get a good portfolio together. I do know another guy from ILM too. He follows me on Instagram, and he works at there. I think he does a lot of 3D modeling for them, but he's a good artist too, good designer. He draws a lot of ships and stuff. But his name is Coley Wirtz. If you look him up on Instagram, you could follow him. And I'd say, look at the art of books. Really, that's your competition. I know it's crazy work and stuff like that, but those are the guys that, you got to get a portfolio put together that's, as good as that stuff. To get into something like that. It's not easy, but it's a good goal to shoot for, I'll tell you that. That'd be awesome. One of my classmates got to do a bunch of Star Wars stuff that I went to school with. Well, you probably know who he is, Feng Zhu. I actually went to school with that guy. He got to do a bunch of Star Wars stuff and the other ones, the prequel stuff. Those were, I think he worked on General Grievous quite a bit. That was kind of his thing. Hey, Zabertech, what's up? It's my Cheeto buddy. How you doing, man? Good to see you. We were just talking about working for Star Wars. How it would be cool to work for doing Star Wars stuff. And Prince of Motley's back. Oh yeah. How you doing, buddy? Is JD still streaming over there, Motley? Yeah, I've been good, Zaber. Really good, man. Can't complain. Been super busy with a bunch of housework, man. That's kind of has really had me occupied a lot lately. We bought a house back in August that was an older house and it needs a lot of work, so we've just been doing a lot of stuff ourselves too and getting things fixed up. By the way, I've made it pretty far on that Boba Fett piece, Zaber. I'll have to show it to you later on. I just wanted to get some of this done tonight so that I could, I gotta pick up the pace on this thing big time because I'm moving too slow. I want to launch this campaign next month on Kickstarter. So I need to get a lot more done. Oh, he's working on some detailed stuff. All right, on. Is he working on that? Hey, if you're in this stream too, and another good concept artist is JD Scribbles. I think he's on right now too. He does some really cool concept work. Well, hey Prince, tell JD I said hi. We can communicate to each other's stream. Yeah, on the red landscape. Oh, that's cool. That thing was looking good too. So I ended up going back and redoing this card. Or this is the back of the deck of the cards right now. And I felt that the engine was too small on the back by the time I reduced it down, so I made the engine a lot bigger. It's going to occupy more of the back of the cards. I think most of you have seen this stuff. Catch up on chat here. Man, my phone, every time it turns off, it loses my chat. I don't understand that. It makes no sense. There we go. Now I can get it. That was weird. So what you been up to, Zaber? Much? Hey, Silver, what's up? Good to see you back, man. What am I working on right now? This is actually going to be a playing card deck. And so right now I'm currently working on the backs of the cards. Just to kind of give you a sense of what I'm doing. This is probably the best example here. But this is the ace of spades. And so I redid all the face cards and all the aces, and it's all hot rod themed, so it's all engines and bolts and, you know, anything car related. So I've got a sketchbook full of sketches that I did all the face cards as different cars, and then all the aces are in the shape of engines. And then, like I said, this is going to be the back of the card. If you ever want to see more about it too, I have a lot on my Instagram account. I have a lot of this stuff all put together. Like this is a middle piece to the Jack of Clubs. And the car is right here. So this car sits in between this, you know, piece in the middle, so that goes there, and then you have a flipped one on the other side. So, and I have this all composited in Photoshop, and I posted it up on my Instagram. So, let me turn this up just a hair. So anyways, this is kind of the look I'm going for right here, and this will be on the backs of the cards. And then later on, I'm going to work on my Boba Fett piece. I don't know if you've seen that one. Oh, right on. Thanks, Silver. I thought you'd followed me, man. Maybe I've just seen you in the other streams and stuff. I'm around in a lot of people's streams just checking out other artists' work and stuff out there. I love doing that. I think some of my favorite artists right now is Aaron Easley. He does watercolor stuff that's really cool. Like architectural type things, and he does like a little bit of fan art video game stuff. Like he did a Destiny piece, and then he's done Dark Souls Castle. It was really cool. And then there's some other people out there. JD Scribbles, he does a bunch of concept work. I can't think of everybody right now. A guy named Den Money, he does some really neat character stuff. Hey, how you doing, Thin Black Lines? Good to see you, man. Hey, you just followed me, Silver? Did that notification not go up? Gosh, man, these Twitch alerts do not always work. It's so annoying. Nope, it most certainly is not. That is so weird. There, now it works. Alright. Well, thanks for the follow, Silver. I appreciate it, man. Oh, there we go. Sign of the Times. That one registered. Thanks for the follow, Sign. And then what were you asking? Can you post a scribble? Yeah, I don't mind if you post something that you did on here. I think I have my links turned off, so. Oh, Aaron's stream? What is it? You spell his name with, Hey, Drawing Warcraft, what's up, man? Good to see you back. Oh, thanks. It's a sweet train. Thank you, man. I was looking up Aaron. Oh, you got the train. That is cool, man. That's some good imagination right there, dude. I like that. Very cool. When he said sweet train, I did some trains too, like these drag racing trains on my Instagram account. They were kind of like if you took a slingshot dragster and mixed it with a train. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Prince. I appreciate that, dude. I just was trying to look up his stream. Yeah, Prince is a moderator for Aaron, so. Thanks, Prince. I appreciate that, man. I should just make you a moderator in my chat too, Prince. Because my other two moderators that I have don't come around very often. Oh, by the way, Zaber, I don't know if you're still around, but I'm gonna go to the Boba Fett piece here in a little bit, man. I just wanted to get some of this knocked out for now. I think with this card back too, I'm going to put more of a big outline around this engine and really highlight that as kind of the main thing. I got to thinking about bicycle cards and stuff, you know, on the back they put the big bicycle, you know, on the back, and that's kind of the main piece. And so I'm thinking of the engine in the same way. Oh, you're still here, right on, Zaber. You're much better at lurking. Hey, you can still lurk and moderate. That's no big deal, man. More than likely with my stream being so small still, I won't have to worry about it. I know that when I got raided by that one streamer, it seemed to pull in a few of the trolls that night. And I had no moderators then. Thought it was funny. I heard, I don't know, I heard a streamer talking about that the other day, about the people that go around and just troll people. It's like, I mean, what do they do? What do they just say, yeah, I just go around and mess with people on their stream and insult them and stuff like that. You know, it's my thing. That's what I do. I'm good at it. It's just kind of funny to think about. So funny when I look at my chat up on my computer, everyone's names are different colors, and then if I look down at my phone, almost everybody's red, which makes no sense. It's kind of weird. I don't know what that means. All right, let's get the outline around the engine, I think. You know, let me pull out I'm going to pull out a card deck here. I've got so many. Look at all these card decks. These are like some of my favorite card decks. So I like to look at all the artwork on this stuff. So this is kind of cool. I bet that's what the back of the cards look like. Yeah, it is. So I like the way they just highlighted that, you know, that symbol on there. Same thing. This one's really neat. This guy did all kinds of foil on the cards and everything. Really, really nice deck. Really nicely executed. Really nice artwork on the thing. This guy goes by Stockholm 17, if you're ever interested in any of the cards. This is by Jackson Robinson. And they're Federal 52s, I think. Yeah, Jackson Robinson. He sells all kinds of really cool decks, too. So these two are by the Stockholm 17. And these, actually, this one is done by Theory 11. They're pretty famous for doing real custom deck cards. So anyways, kind of what I'm going for, using all that as my inspiration for doing a really nice card deck. Commies. You talking about the Stockholm 17? Red for life. What's red for life, Zaber? I don't know what that is. Hey, what is it? Ongwin? I think you've been in my stream before, haven't you? Right now I'm working on my card deck. It's just what I was showing people. But it's a 52 card playing card deck that I'm redesigning, and it's all hot rod themed stuff. So right now what this is the back of the card. So this was what I had already drawn, but I took it into Photoshop and made the engine a bit bigger and stuff. So right now I'm just filling this in, and then later I'm going to go work on a Boba Fett hot rod piece that I had done up a while ago. So is anybody working on art themselves tonight? My wife's out there talking to people outside, and I can hear them really loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, I thought you watched my stream before, and I know that you've corrected me on your name. I'm pretty sure of that. Right on, drawing Warcraft, doing figure drawing, doing perspective practice. Hey Silver, do you do that? Do you do the perspective stuff with Sam? Sam Peterson? Just working on some spreadsheets. Why aren't you doing more of your artwork, Prince? Or do you have to have these spreadsheets done? More cars and stuff. Oh, that's cool. What kind of stuff are you streaming, Sign of the Times? I was talking about, I don't know, I've been working on some Batmobile ideas. They're far from being finished, but I got some concepts I'd like to, that I just started. I'm kind of doing it as a project for a friend of mine. You'll take a break at 11 and do some drawings. That's cool. He hasn't gotten back to me. Well, isn't Sam gone this week too, or something like that? Didn't he take off? If you ever have any questions, hit me up on that stuff, Silver. I had Scott as a teacher. And since then, I actually worked with him quite a bit at Hot Wheels. I actually took some later classes actually while I was at Hot Wheels through Scott. So I know a lot of his stuff. I mean, really at Art Center, they taught all that stuff, and Scott really just expanded on all that and kind of took it and made it his own. He did, I think he simplified a lot of stuff, which was kind of cool. Anything right now, I don't have any pattern. Taking a break from drawing. I mean, you're going to go back to it next week. How come you're taking a break? Yeah, in fact, here's Silver. Check it out. Let's see. I had that book out the other day. That's what you're going through, right? That book right there? Yeah, even after taking Scott and looking through this book, I was like, man, if I was brand new at all this would be so tough to just digest all this. I mean, it's a lot of information. But I think what you do is, I think when you learn most of this stuff, you use it when you really need it, like on the initial layout of everything. But as you sketch more and more, you get used to perspective. At least if you're doing a lot of industrial type stuff, and then you know how to take this technique and go back and check your perspective. But to really draw like that, you really don't. It's a lot of thought and a lot of process to go through. You guys are talking about the TP reports correctly. Wasn't that from The Office, right? Or Office Space? I can't remember which one. I think it was from the movie, huh? The Office, right? Or was that called Office Space? I can't remember which one it is. That was funny. That was a funny scene. Kind of looking at some of this stuff, I think I might have to move some of. Well, I don't know. Actually, yeah, I probably will. I'll probably move some of this stuff because I kind of want it to outline the engine, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, Office Space. That movie was so funny. Yeah, you've read that thing multiple times. I'm telling you, just try to take it with baby steps, because it's a lot to digest, man. You know what? Since you're I can go through a little bit on the Batmobile stuff. I can talk a little bit about it and kind of show you some of the thought process behind all that stuff. So you only have to fill out a few TP reports. The spreadsheet is a track of how many I fill out. Oh man, that movie. That whole movie was just great. If you haven't seen Office Space, you need to go watch it. Although I will say, it is funnier. When I first saw that movie, I actually worked at Mattel. So I worked in a large corporation. And it was, oh man, that movie was just even funnier. The other funny thing about it was that we had a copy machine. That they made us use a copy machine for like, I don't know, 40 people. And they didn't want us to have our own printers, so we had to print out at that one copy machine. And it would get jammed up. Just like Office Space. And when they took that copy machine out and just beat the crud out of it, that was the best scene ever. Because it was so close to home when that happened. Cracked me up. Quote sounds like Mr. Mackey from South Park. I'm not as familiar with South Park. I never watched that much at all. You feel like you get too lazy with formal perspective. Yeah. It's, I mean, really, I guess it kind of depends on what you're doing when you want to study that much. I mean, like I said, once you get to know it, you know how to go back and check things. Like, like working on this Boba Fett piece I've been doing, I went back and I set my vanishing points and stuff, but I actually set them off of my initial sketch of the car that I did. But I was able to figure out all the perspective because I knew how to do it. And as far as the formal perspective is concerned, I don't really use that myself. Believe it or not, I had another teacher for like it was like a drafting perspective, man. It was insane. Like, we had to do all the mathematics behind it and everything. I mean, to be truthfully honest with you, I don't think I learned much from that class, except for he was a very hard teacher to deal with, and it was so stringent that I'm not really sure, like I said, how much I really learned from that class. Like, it was good if I was figuring out, like drafting an architectural type perspective, when everything has to be dead on accurate. But for sketching, it was terrible, man. I didn't know how to relate that over. I don't know, maybe it helped me more than I realized, but I felt that class was such a pain. Oh, right on, Zaber. Yeah, I'd love to see your bat bike. Actually, when I've done freelance for Mattel, I've done a ton of Batman toys for them. And I did several motorcycles. Actually, my favorite was a helicopter I did. Before my move, I actually had all that stuff on my other computer, and it like conked out on me. And I just got my computer up in my office, the old one, and I need to get on there and get all that stuff off of there. Because a lot of my work on my portfolio stuff, I was just looking at it recently, and I'm like, man, some of this is really, really old. And I need to update it with like a lot of that stuff. Because I got some stuff on there. I did some work for Disney too that was a lot of fun. I'd like to get that stuff up. A lot of the Batmobile or the Batman stuff was cool. You're taking drafting class? Is it necessary for an art career? I would venture to say no to that. I know that I had a lot of drafting and architecture myself. I think what it does teach you is it teaches you a lot of patience. And it also teaches you to get good line quality. I was actually studying. I took a lot of drafting classes actually when I first started college because I was going to. I was in engineering. I started out in engineering, so I had to take drafting classes. So, graphic artist class? Well, like, what kind of stuff are you drafting? Because I know that drafting can kind of lead over into like. If you're designing fonts and things like that, I mean, I could see that carry over. But as far as, into art, I don't see how that's going to relate too much. Like, is it required for you to take this class in your major or something like that, or? Curve. I mean, I took drafting partly because I did enjoy it, and you know, I'm sure I learned something from it. What offhand, I don't know, but graphic artist class then? Yeah, I would highly recommend graphic arts. If you're gonna pick anything, graphic design relates into, I would say, every type of design that you do. You know, even designing cars, like when I design a lot of vehicles and cars, graphics play a huge, you know, scope, not only of the design of the graphics on the ship itself, but the way stuff lays out and lines up. You'd start to develop an eye, I think, in a different sense when you take a lot of graphic design. I actually did graphic design for a long time too. And then what tool? You mean this? Or are you talking about this? This is just a black eraser if you're talking about that. Or are you talking, this is a circle template. So I can get my circles perfect. Talking about that. Oh yeah, you said for the circles. Yeah, this is it. Oh, you want to attend a tech school? Hey, Force One, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you again. It's so funny because as I go into all these different streams of different artists, I start to see all these different names. I'm like, hey, I recognize people from other streams and stuff. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. What is that? Saucy Nick? Saucy Nick? Is that what it is? Saucy Nick? I bet it is. Thanks for the follow, man. So what time we got here? We got 9:59. I might move on to the Boba Fett piece here, and I think I will probably just continue this off stream these next few nights. I need to go in and I need to figure out some of this stuff. And I don't know, when I'm searching for designs, I get real quiet because my brain's got to think a lot. Because right now I just was tracing, so I'm going to go in and figure out some of that stuff later. So, for all of you that are in here now, basically what this is a card deck I'm working on. And it's going to be a Hot Rod themed card deck. I know that some of the people that have been in this stream probably get sick of me talking about this. But I'm trying to push it. I know it's I hope you don't think I talk about it too much, but I'm going to be pushing it on Kickstarter. So, but it's going to be a playing card deck, and it's all Hot Rod themed. So, like, for example, this is the Ace of Spades, and then I have the Jack of Clubs all done. And all these cards are laid out in my Instagram account, and you'll see that it'll pop up in the chat and also down below. And so this is the Jack of Clubs. So it's like a 41 Willies, and it sits like in between this, and then the other one sits down here like that. And so this is the art in between. So anyways, that's that, and right now this was the back of the card that I was working on, and I rescaled some stuff. I was actually almost done with it. Here was the original, and what I did is I took the engine and went a lot bigger, because by the time you shrunk that down into a little card, those engines were tiny. So I enlarged the engine, so that was the main point on the back of the card. And like I was talking about earlier, I was thinking of what Bicycle does to the cards. You know, they have that big bike on the back and they kind of highlight that. So that's what I was doing with the engine here. So anyways, and then a lot of the sketches, the rough sketches that I did for all the different cards are posted on Instagram as well. Get that back in focus. There we go. So anyways, I'm going to move on to the Boba Fett piece, and we can talk about that a little bit more. As far as when those cards are going to go up on Kickstarter, my goal is to have them the campaign up next month, and I'll be launching that. I won't have all the artwork done, but I'll have the majority done. And so right now, basically what I'm focusing on is getting like the backs of the cards, because I can show that artwork. A few of the cards that'll be totally complete, so I can put those in kind of a format to show what they look like, and along with the box design. That's probably like the next, that's like the last biggest thing that I have to do is the box design. So that's gonna be a lot of work, and I really need to start cranking this stuff out. So, hey, what's up, Long Rise? Oh, hey, Sosnick. Or Saucy Nick. Thanks, man. Do you follow me on Instagram, or you just seen my stuff before? It's kind of cool. I feel like a lot of more people are starting to stop by that have seen my stuff. Alright, so here I gotta go. I'm gonna have to keep looking at chat on my phone, so if I look down, I don't have the dual monitor set up yet. Eventually I'll get that. Alright, so here let's see, where did I leave off at? Let me open up some other things, kind of explain some stuff. I don't know if Silver's still in here. Hey Silver, if you're still in here, I can talk about that Boba Fett, or I can even talk about perspective on here too, to kind of show you how I figure out things. If you have any specific questions, just hit me up and I can probably try to answer some stuff as much as I can. So. Oh really? Long Rice, your dad had all those different tools? Yeah, I've got all my circle templates. I just found, I'll have to pull them out next time. I have all my old sweeps too, and the sweeps, they use those to basically make, oh sorry guys, the curves and stuff on cars. And they're used, and the set that I have are actually Honda sweeps. They're from, and they were made when I was a student at Art Center. So, if I don't see, I'll just hit, I'll hit Silver Graph back, or Silver Seraph, I'm sorry, Silver Seraph back later. Yeah, the sideways S thingies and stuff. Oh, you know what? I do. I brought them up here. Where did I put those things? Oh, here they are. These are huge ones though, so I don't know if you can see those. I actually have a small set too that's like made for like my sketchbook. But these were laser cut out of this polypropylene stuff. And what these are is we'd use them on our clay or tape drawings, or actual, physical big drawings and stuff. And these were all special curves that they would use to make body lines on cars and stuff. And it would give you a nice sweep that way. Actually, while we're at it, let's see, where is my small set? The small set is sick because I use those all the time on my sketches. You know what? I don't think... Oh yeah, they're right here. They are here. So me and another guy at school, they actually didn't do this for a long time. And we wanted a smaller set so you could do small sketches. So these are the small sets right here. And I think the funny thing is after we had done these, the student store saw that and they started making them and selling them. I was all, man. But I think somehow, like, I couldn't actually sell these because somehow I think Honda actually owns the rights to these specific curves, which is kind of interesting. I did find out that different car studios have different sweeps. So I don't know if Honda still has these or what. These might be old now. But they're a great tool for sketching and getting, like, if you need to do final sketches. They're really nice. Silver Seraph, you were asking a small set of ellipse. I believe I got. Actually, no, I've had these forever, so I don't know where I got these. But you can find them. I'm pretty sure that Blick sells them. You might even look on Amazon. And an art store that I use a lot of is called Utrecht. And it's Utrecht. I believe they have sets of these. These are called Timely. I don't know if you can still find that brand or not. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll hold that up there. Timely is the set that I have. And then I also have another set that's called, I have a huge booklet of these. Oh, these are, this is probably a more popular brand called Pickett. Pickett. So I don't know if you can see that. So, I mean, most of these tools I've had, like, I mean, I graduated in 2000, so I've had them before that, so about 98. And I believe that I bought most of my stuff from Art Center itself, and then there was another art store around there. I don't remember their name, though. It was a family-owned thing, so... Oh yeah, there you go, Silver. Just look some up. You know what? I'll pull up those Batmobile sketches. Well, I don't know. Yeah, because those have wheels, so or kind of. Come on, man. What's going on here? Tell me my computer's gonna freeze. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. Let's see here. Oh man, I hope I didn't. My computer crashed just before I got on. I hope I didn't lose those Batman sketches. Batmobile, no, I don't think this is all old, I think. Oh no, that is it. Okay. So, Long Rice, what did your dad do when he used all those things? So, anyways, I guess I'll talk a little bit about this right now, some of the perspective stuff. So I'm just playing around with some Batmobile ideas, and I'm kind of going a little bit back to the classic design, but putting it into the future, and kind of moving away from the Tumblr stuff that's been done for a while now in a lot of these recent movies. I'm going more of a supercar / tank look, I guess, a little bit. So, if you look here, Silver, this is about the extent of figuring out perspective that I do right here. Now, this, I will say, this does come from a lot of experience after a while, and I'd say the biggest thing is getting your wheels right on any vehicle is like the key thing. I forgot this is in another. I don't know why this switched to grayscale. Oh, thanks, Force One. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm kind of digging this one, and this one might have some stuff. I don't know. We'll see here. I kind of like the feel of this one too, but I want to stretch it out more. So, anyways, just kind of a lesson about vehicles. The thing that I always start with is wheels. So, I think a lot of people ask, well, how do you know what the correct perspective to get on the wheels and stuff? And that's one of Scott's biggest things, and one thing I learned at Art Center was the wheels. You get your wheels laid out, and this really is the base of the whole car. Everything else, personally, I think is easier than getting the wheels. And so, I know some of you may have heard me talk about this before, but a good way to think about a car is that you have what's called the major axis, which is this line here that you see that I've drawn through there. And what that is basically your axle line. So, if you imagine an axle going through the car's body, that's your major axis. It's gonna get a slight. Now, and just something to keep in mind is usually between the front wheel, I'm gonna say that this, I think that's probably about a 60 degree. And so if you take, so say this is the 60 degree, I don't know if you can see the 60 right there. So let's say that I think, yeah, looking at it, that would be about a 60 degree wheel on the front right here. And then as you go back, it's gonna be about a 20 degree difference normally. And when I say normally, you can actually fisheye the back wheel a little bit more. So you're talking about, so the back wheel is going to be about a 40 degree. So then this is a 40. So yeah, that would be correct. So like I said, I've done this so many times now that I get to know it pretty well. So that would be about a 20 degree difference. So that's a 40 degree ellipse. And again, I'm looking at my major axis right here, and then this is called your, oh my gosh, I just messed that up. Actually, the long one is called your minor axis. Why it's called your minor axis is because it's the shortest distance between here and here on the ellipse. So I just messed you guys up. So your axle is your minor axis, okay? Then your major axis runs the long distance here, okay? Now this is always 90 degrees. So that's how you know that. So this kind of helps you start to set up your base for your perspective. So from here, you want to draw, you can cheat this a little bit, but I'm going to give you the straight thing like what Scott Robertson teaches. So you have a straight line there, and then you start drawing your plane. And some average measurements for cars are in the front, and as you get used to drawing these ellipses, you'll get better at this. A front of a car is about approximately 2.5 wheels wide, okay? So these are some of your proportions. And then a car from front to back, usually you have an average of 4 wheels in between the front and the back wheel. But this is a Batmobile, so I added one extra, so I'm kind of making it a little bit longer. So really, you can lay out your whole perspective with just using wheels. Now you do, a lot of times the front is approximately a half wheel, but again, I'm adding a bit more length to it because it's a Batmobile and I'm kind of going for an old classic design. So you can get most of your car laid out this way. So that's kind of a general rule of thumb. So then once you get this box laid out, you really just start chopping it up with shape. you know, how your car's going to look or your vehicle or whatever. And the same thing now if you're doing a spaceship or whatever, you basically are just doing stuff without wheels. But, and then, oh yeah, the one thing I didn't explain was that these two lines right here are going, you know, toward your vanishing point. So that's your vanishing point up there, and then the horizon line would fall right there. And then my second vanishing point actually would be way off over here. So if I took I'll just take a node, and I'll show you, you can, so let's say I put my vanishing point here, and I bring this back, so I'm lining this line up with my other side here. And then if you want to draw yourself a whole perspective grid, you can set it all up and then basically stroke all the lines, you know, with a red thing or whatever. So this gives me my two vanishing points that way. And I just figured it all off of my original car sketch. So. Force One. Thanks, man. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys about all that stuff, but that's kind of the gist of perspective that I use. But when I'm sketching most of the time, I will do it pretty loosely because I've done it so many times, and then I'll come back and redo this stuff. I'll come back and clean it up. Or if I need to figure out my perspective, I can do all that stuff that I just showed you. And sometimes I'll get a shape on a car that I can't figure out, and I'll just, I will use some of those guidelines and stuff. Ooh, my favorite Batmobile design. Good question. Gosh, what would be my favorite Batmobile design? Well, I would say that my first love would be the 1960s Batmobile. And I say that, you know, and I realize it's a little dated now, but that car was so iconic for me as a kid. I can remember just staring at that thing and singing the Batman song over and over and over again. And I absolutely loved that thing so much. It was probably a huge influence into what I do today. And then I would say that one of my other favorites has got to be, I like the Tumbler design a lot, man. When that thing first came out, I was like, wow. And I think because it was so revolutionary, you know, it was a whole new thought of what Batman's vehicle could look like. And I thought it was just really well executed. I don't know if you guys know too much about the Batmobile, but when they did that Tumbler design, they a guy kit bashed that thing together with a bunch of parts from Gundam models. And when they brought that out, I was actually at Mattel, and they brought the actual car to our facility, and it was so cool, man. And the prop itself, like, it was so well built, and the thing was legit when they brought it. I'll take a look at chat here, guys. But yeah, I'd say those are my two favorites for sure. The Tumbler design and the 1960s, the dual cockpit design. Oh yeah, no problem, Force One. High school teacher of yours built a replica of the 1960s. Oh, that's cool. Where was your high school teacher at? Is that out here in California, or? Because I know I've seen several of those replicas. I've seen them at a lot of car shows. Yeah, as far as what I'm combining now, yeah, probably more of the 50s style, kind of the original, maybe even a little bit of the 40s. I think they had that really long Batmobile, and then they also kind of redid that long style the Batmobile in the Keaton one, and then they also kind of kept it up with the Val Kilmer one too. You know, kind of that long nose design. Which some of those were a little bit corny. I think the Keaton one was definitely the best one as far as just keeping some good classic style lines and stuff. Some of the others got a little cornball. And I know that I actually know Harold Belker fairly well, and he did the other design. And he told me that the producer really wanted those like big old fin things coming off the back. He said he actually designed it without those big tail fin things. But he said I had to put them on because that's what they wanted for the movie. No, you know what the Tumblr one is, Force One. It's the newest one, or the newer one. It's the one. It's the they call, maybe they don't refer to that. I heard it called the Tumblr design all the time, but it's the big tank one that they have in the newest movies. So you know what that one is. I'm not sure why they called it Tumblr. I don't really. I never really asked that question. The other thing that I'm thinking about these designs too is that these actually are not wheels, they're more like blades with circles in them. So it kind of pushes it into the future a little bit more. Yeah, the Nolan's Batman. Oh yeah, Nolan's Batman. Yeah. That's right. Yep, that's the Tumblr. That's the Tumblr one. In fact, what's really cool about these circle templates is I actually still use them on my screen. And it, because I'm using a Cintiq. And I love it. See, it gives me a nice quick circle instead of drawing. Because I hate drawing out the paths and stuff, so I can get a sketch done faster like this. You like that design as well, Force One? Thanks, man. Yeah, I love drawing Batmobiles. I've never gotten sick of it. It was fun. Actually, when I was at Mattel, I got to go to Warner Brothers while I was working there, and I sat down with. I went with the action figure group from Mattel because they were working on a bunch of Batman stuff, and they wanted some ideas for the Batmobile. For an animated series they were working on, and I went there and I got to sketch with a bunch of the Warner Brothers artists and stuff, and they I actually drew a really cool Batmobile. I was so stoked on it because the animation guys just were not, they couldn't pull off getting a good vehicle proportion, and I've noticed that even in comic books too, a lot of the guys are super good at drawing like people and stuff, but very few get really good at drawing vehicles. It's kind of a second thing. So they took a bunch of us Hot Wheel guys up with them to draw a bunch of Batmobile stuff. And I kind of drew one that it was more of this, I drew it more of like a mid-engine type thing, so it looked kind of like a, what's that, those race cars, type proportion, so that it was a mid-engine, so the engine sat in the middle, or I'm sorry, more towards the back, and then the cockpit was more towards the middle. And and everyone loved it, and I thought they were going to go for it, and then the next thing I knew that they had removed it, and they went with one of the animators thing, and they told me that my design was too hard to animate, I guess. I was like, oh man, that's so fun. But that's the way it is. I suppose that some of that stuff does stem off of, how stuff, works. So I'm thinking with this too that it's not going to get your typical window cockpit. Like I was even thinking on this one, I think, did I have, no I don't have it on there. I had a version where this was all blacked out right here, so all this front part was all black. And then I'll probably do the back like another, I don't know, dark gray or something like that. So it'd be like this two-tone split type thing. I'll probably render a few of these up, just the car themselves, just for fun. So what's you guys asked me what my favorite Batmobile was. What's your guys' favorite Batmobiles? What do you guys like? Yeah, you like the Keaton one? Yeah, I kind of like the Keaton one. Like I said, that was probably my favorite one for that, that style of Batmobile. Actually, I think, you know what? I actually have a picture of that on my Pinterest. I think from, or some of the, I think I have a couple of the Batmobile designs I did. Or the, I'm sorry, the toy design stuff that I did. Let's see. Where is it? Oh. I have a folder called production design stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I've designed in here. Yeah, here was some of the initial artwork, and this was the final toy. I worked on a video game called Blood Drive, so all these funky cars were my design. They kind of added some things too. This one was kind of funky. Kind of a post-apocalyptic type thing, Mad Max. I think this was done like even before Mad Max was out, a long time ago. Oh, here's one right here. This is such a crummy picture though. Can't really see it. But the wheels kicked down and stood up. It was kind of neat. Oh, this was the, man, see, I got crummy pictures. This is the helicopter. The helicopter turned out pretty cool. And these are a lot of my Hot Wheel designs while I worked there. This one was probably one of my favorites. I love this thing. Such a tiny picture though. But yeah, I don't have I did some other stuff too, but I guess I never collected. I think most of the pictures I found were really bad. I think I just pulled them off the web. I'm gonna work on this other Batmobile idea, although I don't know, I might leave it. Actually, I'm gonna go into my Boba Fett one now. I got that one dialed up. Probably work on these a little bit more tomorrow. So here's the Boba Fett piece I've been working on. I don't know if all of you have seen that. I did a bunch of comps. Let's see, here's, I'll open this one up. Here's the comps right here. So what I did to get to this scene is I took my image that I had originally drawn and I made it black and white. And then I drew up like 4 different lighting scenarios. So this one was like using an overhead street lamp here. Like this one right here, so it would overlight them like that. Then this one was, using floor lighting, so it was kind of underlit. And then probably get a little bit of reflective, or not really reflective light, but kind of ambient light from the back. And this light would come in from this way, so this would be a cool light and a warm light. And then this one here is like a real hefty light, and this is the one I ended up settling on because I had a bunch of people vote for it on Instagram. And so I got a cool light back here, the big light coming up there. I think what I did decide though is a lot of people like this one too. And I'm going to put just a little bit of underlighting on this one. I don't know whether I'm going to do circles or I don't know yet. That's one thing I got to figure out. I might figure that out tonight. But the one thing I hated about this one is it looked like road markers and I didn't like that. And then this one was like major backlit, so all the lights flooding this way, so you get like major rim lighting around all this stuff. And then he'd be really dark. And then the kind of the warm glow from this would have lit him up just a little bit. Force 1. Don't get in a car accident, man. I don't want you to do that. That's cool. Don't worry about responding, man, if you're driving. I want you to be back for my next stream. So anyways, this is where I'm at now. I did it. Actually, it doesn't look like I've done a ton of work from the last time, but I have, like, Boba Fett was looking pretty... I didn't like his legs just didn't look natural in this position here. He was looking like he was squeezing his legs together, so I opened him up, give him a more relaxed look. And then I was kind of thinking about him holding his gun, because over here you kind of see this shadow figure, with the gun up, and you kind of don't know what's going on. As I move into this piece a little bit more, he's going to get more not really spotlighted, but just more detail and a little more, attention to him. And then all these other figures standing around are going to be kind of real loose. They're kind of just fodder to the rest of the scene. So, and then I started defining some of these walls back here, carrying some of that cool light up in here, bouncing a lot of the cool light off the back of this car. I could probably even get a little bit heavier in that. And then some up on his armor and stuff and kind of backlighting him from back here. So, yeah, I actually spent a lot of time just getting his legs right and stuff. Characters are not my strong suit, so it takes me a little longer to figure that stuff out. Force 1, you gotta pull over to type. Well, at least you're pulling over instead of trying to text and while you're driving. So yeah, right now I think I'm going to go in here and define some of these characters. I want to get a little bit more going on these walls. I need some more busyness here. This looks a little dry. So, just a matter of figuring that stuff out and kind of playing around, I guess. More than anything. I want this to probably look kind of like a, I know it's a little bit cliche, but I like it when the road is a little bit wet. It creates some really cool reflections and light bouncing up and around and all that stuff. So. I tell you, about 11 o'clock, when it gets close to 11, I start yawning like crazy, man. So I apologize for that, guys. I think I'm going to remove these lights up here too. I don't really think those are necessary. I don't like it yellow anyways. Oh, thanks, Gore-Tex. Appreciate that. Hey, Obey, what's up, man? Good to see you back. Yeah, lurk all you want, Gore-Tex. I don't mind at all. Actually, I think I'm going to grab my just normal dark brush here. Oh, thanks, Obey. Yeah, I added some people around. I felt that him by himself, obviously, was a little dry. He wasn't. Just looked like there was not a lot of life in the scene. I mean, this scene right now still looks pretty dead. So that's kind of what I'm gonna work on right now, is trying to get some life in here and make it look like it's a lived-in city. Get some of these walls, some texturing and things like that. So it's almost 2 a.m. for you, Forrest? Where are you from, man? Weren't you in, were you in Jerkmonger's stream too, Force One? I think I saw you in there. I need to stop asking you questions so you can drive. Oh, Pennsylvania. Wow, man. Are you just coming home from work? Must be, huh? One thing I meant to do before I did this tonight was I wanted to look up some reference on Night City scene, and I forgot to do that. Some of the stuff you can do, some things you can do, like to give reflection like really quick, is see I just took that highlight and just duplicated it on the street, because basically when you're reflecting something right into the street, you're reflecting, I mean literally straight down. So you can highlight the same areas and everything. And since it's in a street, it's going to be rough, so you're not going to have an exact reflection unless they're on like a mirror style floor, you know. Let's see. You can get Boba Fett, a little reflection there. See his color. Whoops. It's a little too light there. Start. Let's see. Oh, right on, Force One. That's cool. Start giving a little definition of this car right here. Start giving a little detail. I think I'm gonna knock that. I'm gonna knock that down just a little bit. It's a little too bright. And definitely with this strong light, you're going to get a lot of bounce light around in here. These edges are going to catch a water line here. See, I'm starting to design and I start getting quiet because I'm thinking about stuff. Oh, Force One. This playlist, I've had a few people ask about it. You know what it is? It's actually just, it's called an NCS playlist on YouTube, and they have a similar playlist on Spotify, and it's just I chose this. So I mean, some of this music I don't even like myself, but it's kind of cool. So most of it's pretty good. I actually like it, but I ended up listening to it because of all the copyright stuff where they were silencing all your stream and stuff. So I started listening to this so that I can use oh man, I realized I need to get my mic closer over here when I come over here. So I can use so I can use my video clips back on YouTube, because a lot of times I'll use my stuff and I'll make a small clip from it with you know, like highlighting certain parts, and if I get censored out, then I can't use that stuff. And I notice that some people don't care. Some of the streamers don't, because they don't really use this stuff on YouTube, but I do, because I use some of this stuff. And I also rebroadcast. I had put my thing back up on YouTube, my episode, and I get a decent amount of people watching it. Not like a mass amount, but definitely a lot of people go back and watch my streams. So I started doing the NCS playlist. So if you want to find it, just look up NCS. Pretty easy to find. Can y'all hear me better now? Probably can. Oh, see, I'm saying y'all. It's all Aaron. Some of the stuff that, like the details and stuff that I'm putting in here, just really, I didn't look up too much reference on it. I just started drawing stuff. You know, just thinking of certain movies and stuff like that I've seen, like, you know, what, and, you know, obviously thinking of Star Wars and, like, you know, what kind of stuff do you see in these cities, and, you know, I'm thinking pipes and, you know, cut lines in the building and stuff like that. Really, none of the architecture, when you get in close, is that incredibly different than what we have today, you know? So, just using those design cues and kind of going from there. You know, some of this stuff in the past, I'll actually just take Photoscrap and use Photoscrap in a lot of these things too. I know that I've heard, and normally I don't do a lot of stuff like this. All my work is mostly based on product design, so it's like designing individual pieces and stuff like that. And so, you know, I never really get contracted to do illustration type stuff, but so most of this stuff is always kind of on my own. But I know that I've heard some people say, I've heard some people say that when it comes to studio stuff, that they tend to have to use some of the Photoscrap, like really, to get stuff out really fast. There's nothing wrong with using Photoscrap. One, that you've taken this stuff, but I know that the majority of people don't out there. Two, is that a lot of times you can use Photoscrap because you change it so much from what the original was. So what were you asking me here, Obey? Oh, thanks, Gore-Tex. And then you're off to bed, Zaber. Okay, take care, Zaber. Have a good night. I hope I didn't miss you, man. And then you're taking off. Oh no, Gore-Tex is still here. Never mind. He's saying goodnight to Zaber Tech. And then, what do I think about the new Ghostbusters? I don't know, man. To be honest with you, if I'm gonna give you my honest opinion, I'm not that excited about it. I think it looks really, really goofy. But I might be entirely wrong about that. I hope I am. But just by seeing the previews, I am not. It's not a movie that I'm gonna be like, I gotta go see that. So that's what I think about it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's good. I want it to be, but I also am kind of like, I'm not going to get my hopes up too much either, which kind of stinks. Because I love the original Ghostbusters was so much fun to watch. Even as a kid, that, again, I just always go to vehicles, man, and with the Ecto-1, you can't, that car is just so cool. Love that thing. So some of the stuff you got to think about too is that, out of these pipes you're going to have leaks and all that stuff coming out. And so you're going to have drips on the walls. So I'll start to fill in a little bit of that detail. I don't want to get over the top on it because a lot of this stuff is just filler, But you also need a certain amount of detail to, make the space look like it's lived in or real or... You're home. I'm going to switch over to my iPad. Nice. And Obey just went to his PC. Yeah, I found out with the PC or with the phone app, it works a little different, doesn't it? Because I know I always tell people to check below for my links and stuff, and it doesn't show up in on the phone like that. Whoops. Too dark. This brush, is this one by, I don't remember, I think this one actually might be one from Mr. Jack. I don't know if you guys have seen that guy, the Blizzard artist. Really good. And he posted his brushes online. I try not to download too many brushes, but once in a while I come across ones that I think would be really useful, and some of his look really nice, so I ended up downloading them. I know that Fang's view on brushes is pretty, he feels like most people should just make their own brushes and not ask for other people's, because, and I like his philosophy on it, is that as you work as an artist, you're different than every other guy, than every other person out there that does art. What may work for one may not work for another. And I found that to be very true. I get in the habit of, there for a while I'd download all kinds of people's brushes and stuff like that, and you'd be like, oh, that's cool, and then I'd end up just with this massive brush amount of brushes in my brush palette that I never used. Yeah, you're still using a brush set that you used 8 years ago? Yeah. I agree, man. That's truly the best way to go. I mean, really, the ones I use the most are still probably the soft and the hard round. Those are my staples. these two right here all the time. Soften up some of these edges. It's also, you know what else we can do too is chunk this stuff up a little bit. You know, you're gonna get, the city's gonna be worn a little bit. You're gonna have some chips on the edges, cars hitting the edge and stuff like that. So it's not gonna be so perfect. So what kind of stuff do you like to do, Gore-Tex? Yeah, that's a really good point, Force One. That's totally true. It's not the tools, it's the person. Besides that, I might use a certain brush. Yeah, for sure, man. You use that stuff totally different. What did you say? Obey. Let's see. Where are you at? Where Photoshop buttons make all cool and add hot rod? We're all waiting. Should I make some hot rod brushes? I can do that. Then you'll have my hot rods in all your scenes. I've taken the time to make certain brushes. You know, I've done all the tree stuff and things like that. And, oh, hey, thanks for the follow. I didn't get to see who that was, but thank you very much. Was that Shadow Man that followed me? I think it was, huh? Thanks for the follow, Shadow Man. And I think the other thing that I found that I don't like about switching brushes all the time is, and I think this happens for a lot of people that I feel like are just starting to learn digital paint. I think they want to find that magic brush, and like you said, it is all about the person. I think they think that once they get this brush, it's going to make them a really, really good artist. But what it does is it even confuses people even more, because you see one artist use a certain brush and he has a certain style, and you go to mimic that, but you have, you know, the way you think is totally different. So then it frustrates the artist that's trying to use that brush, and then they think, gosh, that guy did it. I must just be awful because I can't pull off the same result, you know? And I learned all my skill traditionally. Like, all of it came from markers and chalk and gouache paint, and I didn't move to digital till way later. Actually, I did at school, but it was still later. But I had a really solid foundation in drawing and painting and stuff like that, and I still feel like that when you learn that way, when you learn how to draw with traditional materials, I think there's a lot less confusion. And it keeps things simple, because I see too many people saying, well, how do I learn digital? And I really think that if you learn with a pencil and paper, it's going to make you a way better digital artist. because it's like you said, it's more of the tool than the I mean, I'm saying that it's more of the artist than the tool. So you need to get a tablet. Old bamboo. Well, those bamboos are good for learning on, I'll tell you that. Yeah, that's how I learned. Actually, was just I didn't even have a Wacom tablet when I first started doing this stuff. I don't even remember that. Oh, Calcomp. That was the name of it. It was called a Calcomp. I don't even know if they're still around or what the deal is. But I used that for the longest time because as a student, I didn't have the money to buy that stuff. Hey, thanks for the follow. I know somebody just followed me right now. If I missed some of your follows, just say hi in the chat. Oh, there it is. Poop Face. Thanks for the follow, Poop Face. But yeah, just going back to that I think it really confuses a lot of people when they start learning digital and stuff. And I also feel like I think you get a lot more confidence when you learn traditional stuff, and you can really, like, I feel like I can go back and forth at any time that I want to because I still draw a lot of traditional stuff. And it helps out a lot to know that stuff. In fact, I still feel like I get better line quality with my traditional stuff. Oh, thanks, Shadow Man. Thanks for letting me know, man. Yeah, this is fun stuff. I'm like at the point now where it's just it's total fun work because I've gone in and kind of defined my lighting and where I want things, and now I'm just detailing out the scene. Which is the part that's a lot more relaxing now, you know? And I think I was telling everyone before that I don't do this stuff often enough to where I feel like totally grounded in it. Where I actually lay out a whole scene. I do more kind of one-off type stuff. Where I mean like I'm designing just one product or something like that. Oh, you followed me a while ago, that's right. Well, I don't know who that... Well, I guess Poop Face just followed me now. Sorry, man. I know you did follow me a while ago. So just getting in some streakiness. I want to start adding some texturing to the pavement and stuff. Whoops. Probably just soften up these edges just a hair on some of these. I can do that with some of the texturing. I think what I'll start to figure out is some of the lights too now. Getting more of that reflection on pavement stuff. Get a little bit of that red color down there. Doesn't really take a lot to start making stuff look like it's reflected in the ground. Actually, I can take some of that bounce light too and put that on there. Take some of this. Bounce some more of this light off of here. Get some of those edges and stuff. So now you can take some of that bounce light and run that off on the pavement down there. Need to go a little lighter. See, it starts to make that look reflective there. Then to kind of rough it up, go back in there with some texture. Force One, no, I have not. I'm not familiar with those other brands. I've seen a few YouTube videos though where a guy did some reviews on some of those, and they, for the most part, they seem like they're all right. I know that I think I remember him saying on one of them though that there were some software issues as far as it being compatible, but I don't know. I know that the competition's gotten a lot better. I know for the longest time, if you bought any other brand than Intuos, it was awful. But I would like to, I'd be curious myself on that. I have a Cintiq because my work bought it for me. But I had one before that. I had the 21UX, and it was I had that for the longest time, and I just recently sold it, man. You know, since I've been on here, I've had a lot of people ask me if I have any old stuff, and I ended up selling that one to a good friend of mine that's been wanting one for a while. But you know, that's another option too. You could always look into old Intuoses, you know, like used ones. I've seen a few people sell the you know, their old 21UX. But yeah, I'd be curious. Actually, I have a. Yeah, I have an off-brand tablet, but I've never used it. And somebody gave it to me. I was at a show one time, and this guy walked up and he just said, "Here, why don't you try this out?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I later contacted the guy about using it, and I never heard back from him. Like, it was kind of a mystery. I don't know what happened with that. Because I think what he wanted me to do was do a review, and I think he was from overseas, and I did, like, his information. I don't know whether I just got it wrong, or whether he gave me the wrong information, or whether something happened, like maybe went out of business or something like that. I don't know. But he disappeared and never heard back from the guy again. It's kind of funny. You mean you've been seeing the old ones on eBay, or the old Intuos, or the new off-brand ones? Oh, Obey Art's kind of filling you in. I thought I saw some though that had some decent reviews. Obey, were they all kind of not that great? Oh, the used Cintiq. All right, I'll still be here, Gore-Tex. That might be worth looking into. You know, find somebody that's got a reputable, you know, rating and stuff, and make sure that they're legit. And it, you know, I think if you don't have it in your budget to buy a brand new one, I mean, I use my 21UX for a long time, man. I mean, I just got this one last year. So I bought a 21UX, I think in 2008, and I used it until last year, and it was still going strong. Like, it still worked really, really well. It was good. I mean, it was still. I'd say the only complaint that I had was that the screen got a little scratched up. But I mean, that just came from use. I think that's probably one of the things you need to look out for, is just make sure that there's no major wear on the screen. I mean, mine was your typical wear. It wasn't horrible, but you could definitely tell it was used, you know. And then, you know, in all honesty, I'd say my advice would be to go with something that's affordable until you get really, really good at it. And then if you pick up some freelance work, you know, then you can use that freelance money to start paying for some better equipment. But yeah, don't break the bank in the beginning. I think that's a really bad thing to do. Drawing a Glove So Delicious? Is that a restaurant? So once in a while I'll draw these paths to give myself a real crisp edge. And then I use the soft airbrush.
Jack it up.
And I can bring some of that bounce light back there into this. At Chinese tablet, you must draw draw with special gloves. It's a little strong for that section there. It's gonna be a lot weaker. I feel like let's do this. Let's add some more shape to the other side of this thing. I don't like how it just looks flat. Probably repeat some of that back there. I'm gonna probably call it a night here at 11:30, guys. So real soon. Get a little bit more shape. Then let's do this. Let's get some mechanical detail in there. So I'll just basically do what's here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's just a real light indication of something being in there. Like, I'm not figuring out all the details, but just enough to... So actually I can look at this though too, that this is these, I've got these blade things coming into there. So we'll have something similar to that up here. Still want to do something else. I still feel like it feels, I don't know, it's just not quite there yet. Oh, thanks, Gore-Tex. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I stream every Tuesday and Thursday night is always my for sure stream night. And then I always have one more stream night that I do stuff. And that varies anywhere from Monday to Thursday, but I usually, you know, if you give me a follow, you'll get a notification of when I'm going live and all that. And if you don't follow me on Instagram too, I announce it there. My Instagram account is, probably if you scroll up, you can find it in chat. If not, it's down below, and I post all my updates there. So, I don't know if I like that, but I'm just doing it for detail right now, just to get something in there. Gives a little something to it. Little something, something. Gets a little bit of highlight on there. I need to start hitting some of these characters. Give that crest gauntlet. Yeah, I could do that. You know, I want to do that, and part of me doesn't want to do it because it's so cliche, I guess. Like, and when I think of that crest gaunt thing, it totally reminds me of Blade Runner. Is exactly what it reminds me of. And I was trying to stay away from the typical, I guess. But there is something cool about that. There's no doubt about it. I'm not gonna say it's not cool. It is cool. But I think part of me as a designer doesn't want to go there because I'm trying to stay away from the total obvious. I'm gonna go ahead and flatten a lot of this. Oh shoot, that's oh, that's where some of my Boba Fett stuff was. I was using this for reference. Really cool piece. But I dug it because I was looking at a lot of his pants and stuff for reference. that on top. I think I'll need that too much more. I need to redo his gun position. Looks weird to me right now. And his hand wasn't working right, and I was kind of redoing that too. Oh, there's some of the spotlights. I don't think I like that quite yet, but I want something there. Oh, thanks, Force One. Yeah, you're right, Nick. It is in the same vein. Except you could say Blade Runner was first, huh? Alright, I am going to flatten this thing now, guys. I don't see any reason why I need to leave all these layers. I like to work on pretty much push down layers most of the time. I hate having multiple layers. It drives me crazy. So, oh, I forgot about his hand thing. Just go in there. You know, man, I realized I don't think I sized this thing up very high. Oh man, yeah, it's only the 100 DPI. Did 25 inches, but I'm gonna bump the size up. I know that's not always in the height. Oh no, never mind. So what was it? It was at it's a 25 by 42. Let's go to let's go to 40 inches. I know that I'm rezzing up from this, but as I do details now, it'll get better. That way I can zoom in and get this stuff a little bit better. I need to work on that hand too, man. Hands always take a little bit to get, I feel like. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Force One. I love Blade Runner, man. Somebody told me they're redoing it. Did you hear that? Man, that scares the crud out of me that they're redoing Blade Runner. Because it's like, that is such a classic that it's like, ugh, man, you guys cannot screw that up. I just kind of wonder if they would do something like a Total Recall. You know, they redid Total Recall, and it was kind of different, really, mostly. You know. Oh gosh, I hate his hand. Try to get rid of these white outlines. That might help a little bit. Yeah, Blade Runner. In fact, recently I was just looking at some stuff from Blade Runner. I'm actually taking a class from Nathan Fowkes. It's just like a self-taught thing from Schoolism. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but it's really, really good. Learning a lot about composition and stuff like that, and stuff, you know, and stuff. So, yeah. I might have to come back to this again and visit it. I'm not getting this hand right at all. Sometimes it's worth just stepping away from it. one thing. It's I need to get more on the gray side. Let's not make this a Ghostbusters 3. Oh, so they're making a sequel with Harrison Ford? Really? A Schoolism, I don't believe, was a Kickstarter project. Because I want to say that was started a while ago from that Bobby Chu is his name. And he, I feel like he started that a while ago. I think, gosh, these things look like sausages. Got sausage fingers. I don't think that was he did some things with Schoolism. I think for through Schoolism, I think he did like he did a story, and I believe that story is on Netflix now, or was at one time. Dude, this hand is gonna tick me off. I'm gonna have to just come back to this bad boy. But yeah, I believe he was, God dang, dude. It's gonna bother the crud out of me. Alright. I'm just gonna move on. I know that hand is wrong, and I'll come back to it later. And I need to get this hand right too. Oh, he's not going to be the main character. Looks like it's a story about search for him or something. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's kind of cool. Oh, that hand is killing me. Alright, I'll move on from it. Actually, I think I might just call it tonight, guys. Yeah, I feel like I got some good detail back there. I need to start working on these people. I'm not going to detail them out too much. So I'm just going to kind of highlight certain areas on them to make them look like they're real. And then get all the focus going on Boba. Really, I'll probably start intensifying some of these lights on him. A little more brighter light. Yeah, and I want some more details back here too, behind them. But yeah, I think it's working. A lot of gray right now though, that's for sure. I think I need to get rid of some of that gray in there. I don't know. I think those lights will help a little bit, and then maybe even take a few of these pillars and stuff and just put some faded red paint or something like that on them, just to break up some of the gray stuff on there. So, yeah. Thanks, Force One. I appreciate it, man. So, Nick, yeah, maybe they did. Okay, they have a Kickstarter for what was essentially tuition per tier. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, Ryan Gosling's gonna be in the show, huh? That's cool. All right, guys. Oh man, yeah, I'm tired already. But I'm gonna call it here, I think, and I will. So there's where it came from. I didn't realize I still had the original layer. So that's pretty much the initial layout that I had done, and now it's there. So it's come a long ways. I don't know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to mention just a few things before I do get off, though. If you guys want to, not that you have to or anything like that, but I do have Instagram, and if you guys want to give me a follow on there, I usually post daily on that. And then I stream every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard, so PST. And I guess that's about it. So I'd say if you want to keep up on everything I'm doing, give me a follow on Instagram, and then give me a follow on here, so when I go live, you know. Yeah, boy, really highlighting that stuff does a lot. I like that. So anyways, I'm gonna call it a night here, guys. If you want to have it, I'll stay on here just for a little bit more and see if you have any questions or anything. If not, I will see you guys on Thursday. Actually, I will stream tomorrow night. I will be on tomorrow night at probably about the same time, at 9 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So I'll look for me, and I will see some of you back on here tomorrow night, hopefully. And then if not, I will be back on Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I will talk to all you guys later. Thanks again for stopping by. Bye.